Hi guys, Captain Orion here, and today we're going to be talking about expected characters we can expect to see in Disney's Dreamlight Valley and answer the real question of who's next. Now, when we're thinking about what characters we can expect to see in Disney's Dreamlight Valley, we have had a few hints and tips that you might have just missed the first time around. First, let's start on the loading screen. Wait a little longer and you'll be greeted by this lovely trailer. However, this trailer does hold a few secrets and gives us some clues and some hints on who we can expect to see. Now for the first one, I'm going to stop right about here. See this guy? That right there is WreckItRalph. Now whilst we do have items already in the game, the fact that we see Ralph in this trailer already lends a good hint that the character model is all ready to go. So my best guess is we can expect to see WreckItRalph in his own realm, and to be honest, I'd expect to see Penelope pit stop there as well. So keep an eye out for that little racer, and honestly, I think this will come soon. Do I think it will be the next character? Potentially not. But let's keep going and see what other characters we can see as we go along. Far more obviously are these three happy chaps. Now, we've already got Scar in the game, and as you can see from the kind of rock in his house, we know he's already there. And this just hints that these three characters, Simba, Timon and Pumbaa, again, all the character models are made and they will be coming. What's Simba's house going to be? Well, you can see it right here from the picture. It's going to be Pride Rock. Everything, again, looks pretty done for this, and I'd imagine it would come soon. Again, do I think it's the next one? Potentially not. However, I do believe this will be on the roadmap for probably like Q1 release, so I would say like around March time, or between that time anyway. Wow, this trailer just keeps on giving. So I've paused it already again. Every scene seems to give me something completely new to talk about. We have three characters in this scene, but we're missing one. Olaf, again, right there, character model and everything. How will he be introduced, though, is the question. I honestly don't know. I have no idea when he'll come about. I'm hoping and thinking potentially it's going to be a seasonal thing, but that's another option. So, let's see who else is there. Now, by now, you must be thinking, whoa, Orion, why have you just paused it on this bit of the trailer? Like, this bit of the trailer has no new characters in it. However, it does give us something really, really important. It actually shows us a house for one of the characters that we haven't seen before. At least not in game yet. And that is that castle right there to the right. Now, my best guess is this is one of the princess castles. I would think Cinderella. My potential guess is, for those who have been looking, and I'll also cue the clip right now, there is in the Forgotten Lands, is it Forgotten Lands? I'll put a type over, I'm right, is a pumpkin house. Now that pumpkin house still lies empty, and this is the house and that I think they will fill next. It doesn't make any sense that you'd keep a house empty, and so I imagine they will fill this before anything else. Now, who's kind of pumpkin related in the Disney property that we can think of? Well, Cinderella is one, also Fairy Godmother. Could be one of those two. Now, seeing this castle, originally I was thinking, potentially you could do some friendship quests and maybe the house transforms. Maybe you upgrade the house and it goes from a pumpkin to a castle. That would be something really cool that I'd love to see. And so I'll be keeping an eye out anyway to see if this does come about. But I just wanted to pause this here. I thought it was a really good idea. Let me know, guys, in the comments what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? And if you disagree, who do you think it is? Or is it just a house and I'm just pointing it out for the sake of pointing it out? Who knows? And then finally, just when you thought this trailer couldn't give us any more clues, it drops this big thumbnail for us. Now, there's very obvious characters in here. We've got 3 of them already, and the next obvious one that you could think was Belle, as we see Belle right there. There's also a few more clues dropped in this, so I'm I don't know if you can see the house right at the back there. It actually has a buck's head on it. And my best guess, and just by judging by the looks of the building, and this is my sole guess, I have no idea, I reckon that's potentially Gaston's tavern. So, could we expect to see Belle and Gaston come in? Gaston would be a pretty good villain to bring in, and I think it would be quite cool to have that. Whether that is the case, I don't know. But, again, it'd be really cool. Now, I think what will probably happen is Gaston will be introduced. I'm not quite sure how. I would have thought via a realm. Certainly Belle, I think, will come via a realm. And we'll have to see how Gaston's introduced. Now, beforehand, or in addition to, should I say, we also have one other character clue here. If you look right next to Elsa, she's standing next to what looks like Rapunzel's tower. That's right, I genuinely think Rapunzel is going to come to the game, and I think she's probably not that far away either. With kind of Mother Gothel being there, I'm curious to see how they introduce her. I don't know, is she going to kind of have an additional quest that comes with Mother Gothel? I don't know if a realm's going to come up, so I'm really keen to see how they introduce her. Now that we've kind of gone over the trailer and we've seen everything and the characters here, let's quickly jump in-game, look at some of the character things that's been kind of shown in-game, and let's have a chat about whether we think they are going to be potential characters, whether they're just, like, you know, furniture items, and also who we think's going to come to some of these, like, areas, and do we think that map's going to expand? That's a really good conversation to have. I genuinely think it might. But let's just jump straight into it and we'll have a look. Cool. Now, remember I said about that pumpkin house earlier? Let's have a look at it and just see what we think. So, the house itself is actually really nice. It's not very overgrown. It's not like, you know, the colouring's quite light. And that lends itself to suggest to me that it's not going to be a villain's house. I genuinely think it's probably going to be, you know, either Cinderella. What would make more sense, it's probably the fairy godmother. Now, I think it's going to be two together, which is good news. Hence the castle earlier and why I said I thought that'd be Cinderella. I think what might happen is that house will be the fairy godmother's and that the Cinderella herself will have her own realm. Now, why am I so hung up on Cinderella thinking it's Cinderella? It kind of makes sense with it, but also I would expect or kind of think to see some of the Disney princesses starting to come in, as they are kind of a lot of Disney property, and I think they'd be good additions to the game, to be fair. So yeah, those are the ones. So that's who I think's coming here. However, if we turn around and have a quick look as well, we'll also see loads of green fire. Now, I don't know about you, but who I associate with green fire is Maleficent. Now, what a mega addition to the game Maleficent will be if she does come. And I genuinely think she will be part of the Forgotten Lands. I think she'll fit in very nicely, and I think it would be an amazing addition. So, I've gone over who I think will be here. Let's have a quick chat about kind of who's in the menu, who is like a potential that could come in, might not, but would be really cool to see. So, before we just jump into that menu, I'm actually going to look and show some scenes. Now, these scenes are from parts of the game, but if you look at them really closely, do they remind you of any intellectual property of Disney? They remind me of Atlantis, and I would love to see, you know, Milo running around and Mole. I think they'd just be really cool characters to have in the game. They're quite old. Sorry if I offended everyone there. They are, like, you know, older intellectual property of Disney. However, it would be such an amazing addition. And if you, spoiler alert, complete the Little Mermaid's Ariel's character tree, she actually talks about it's like stuff being from an older or ancient civilization, and that just so hints at Atlantis coming. Now, that was one that I would love to see. Whether it does come, I'm not sure, but they've set themselves up for it being a potential. Cool. Now let's look into the characters and, you know, who's in the collections in the game and who we can expect to see. Alright then, so scrolling through this list, we have some really kind of good, like, hints, I guess, of what's coming. And honestly, all of these are really viable. And we've actually discussed some of these as we've been going. So, Beauty and the Beast is one of them. Cars, we haven't discussed that. Do I think it's coming? Potentially. Yeah, potentially I do. I don't know how. My suggestion, and I'd love to see it, is they add a kind of like Radiator Springs expansion to the map. That would be amazing to see. Will they do it? I don't know. Potentially. Cinderella's another one. Again, we've had a discussion about this, so, you know, it's entirely an option. Coco. Frozen. Lightyear, which I thought was really interesting, because we already have Toy Story and Buzz has come in with the Toy Story. I don't think we'll see any changes in terms of that character. However, I do think potentially we could see a skin for Buzz where, you know, like we have the Christmas ones for Merlin and Mickey. We could see something else come in. Lilo and Stitch, we've got Stitch waiting on Lilo, so Lilo's another character that could come. Mickey and friends, so we're missing some friends. We're missing Pluto, missing Chip and Dale, Daisy. There's some really good ones there that are solid that we're missing. Moana, I would write that off as being done now. Monsters Inc., really good. Sully, Mike. We've got the kind of backpacks. There's loads of Mike backpacks I keep seeing in my store. But yeah, we've got that one. Ratatouille. Tangled, again, we discussed it. It was in the trailer. Be really cool to see. The Incredibles. Really, really excited to see what that could be. Now, I think this will come in as a realm. However, if anyone's listening and you make this game, please, please, please see if you can add it as a map expansion. I just think it'd be cool to have like a little city somewhere that you could build up. But yeah, The Lion King we've had a discussion about. The Little Mermaid already in. Sword in the Stone will be Merlin. Toy Story. Up. Now, Up would be really cool to see. We already have the... oh, what do you call it? The house with the balloons as like a furniture item. So I would love to see some characters. I'd love to see Doug and Carl. I think those would be amazing additions. Wally. So we've got Wally himself. We don't actually have either. So hopefully we see those. And the final one on this list is WreckItRalph. Now, again, all of these are really cool ideas to have characters in, and I want to see them. Now, the real question that I asked at the beginning of this video was, who's next? Who do I think is the next character to come into this game? Now, I genuinely think they are going to, and I beg they do, fill that damn pumpkin house. And so, I'm going to say it's going to be the fairy godmother in that pumpkin house. And I'm going to say Cinderella's going to come in a realm. I think it's going to be a dual release, kind of like, well, I guess kind of like Toy Story in the set, but more that there's another house. But I think that'd be such a cool idea, and I'd love to see it. But yeah, that's it today, guys. That's my ideas and thoughts of what I expect to see as upcoming characters. Who's next? You know, let me know if you guys agree with me, disagree with me. I'm actually really keen to know. So leave a comment down below. And don't forget, guys, if you have enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on everything Dreamlight Valley. I post a load of videos, help guides, and I also stream Dreamlight Valley so often. So if you do have any questions or want to kind of catch up with me and have a chat on that, honestly, feel free. But make sure you hit that notification bell to stay up to date on everything Dreamlight Valley. Until next time, guys, I will see you later.